Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're going to be looking at a company that's been generating a lot of buzz lately. Invivyd, ticker symbol IVVD.
Yeah, Invivyd. It's a really interesting story, kind of head scratcher. You've got some analysts predicting huge growth, like over 2,000% growth.
2000. Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. But then you've got others who are lowering their price targets, and all of this is happening while they're putting up some pretty strong revenue numbers.
But the stock price has dipped recently, right?
Exactly. So it's like, what's the real story here? What's going on?
Okay, yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. So let's start with the good news, right? What's got people so excited about Invivyd in the first place?
Well, a big part of it is their recent preliminary Q4 2024 financials. Their flagship product, PEMGARDA, saw 48% revenue growth compared to the previous quarter.
48%. That's massive, especially in just one quarter.
Right. It really suggests that PEMGARDA is gaining some serious traction in the market, which is a very positive sign for Invivyd's future.
Yeah, I see that. And are there other things that they're doing that are contributing to these really positive projections?
Yeah, absolutely. The company is really laser focused on cost reduction right now, and they've said publicly that their goal is to hit profitability by mid-2025. So you've got this combination of strong revenue growth and a real commitment to controlling costs.
Gotcha. So those factors make a lot of sense why you're seeing those optimistic analyst ratings.
Yeah.
I think you said, was it 3 out of 4 gave it a strong buy?
Yeah, exactly. And, some analysts are even projecting a 12-month price target of $7.89.
789.
Yeah, I mean, that's over 2,000% growth from where it is right now.
Okay, hold on. Things can't be quite that simple, right? I mean, we already talked about the stock dipping recently, and it's not just that. Some analysts are getting more cautious too.
Yeah, you're bringing up some really important points. It's definitely not all sunshine and roses with Invivyd.
Right. I'm thinking specifically about HC Wainwright and Morgan Stanley. They've both lowered their price targets, haven't they?
They have, and that's something that investors definitely need to pay attention to. It's a sign that, maybe not everyone is convinced that this growth is going to continue at such a breakneck pace.
Right. And then there's this whole short interest thing that I think we should probably talk about too.
Yeah, absolutely. Short interest is something that can really give us insight into what the market is thinking about a particular stock. And in January, the short interest in Invivyd jumped by over 8%.
8%. Wow.
Yeah, which means that some investors are actually betting against the company.
Okay. So for our listeners who maybe aren't super familiar with short selling, did you break down what that actually means and why this increase in short interest for Invivyd matters?
Sure. So essentially, when you short sell a stock, you're borrowing shares from someone else, selling those shares at the current market price, and then hoping to buy them back later at a lower price to return to the lender. And the difference between what you sold them for and what you buy them back for, that's your profit. So the fact that short interest in Invivyd has gone up so much, it tells us that there are some investors out there who are skeptical.
So despite all the positive news we've talked about, those strong financials, those bullish analyst ratings, you're saying there are still some investors who believe that Invivyd is overvalued and that the stock price is going to go down.
Exactly. And those investors are putting their money where their mouth is by shorting the stock. So it's definitely something to keep in mind as you're evaluating Invivyd.
So it seems like we've got these two opposing forces at play here. On one side, you have strong financials, those really impressive growth numbers, and analysts who are very optimistic. But on the other side, we have a dipping stock price, increasing short interest, and analysts who are getting more cautious.
That's a great way to put it. It's like this push and pull between those who believe in Invivyd's potential and those who are more skeptical.
So how do we make sense of this? Where do we go from here?
Well, I think one place we can look is at the technical side of things, those charts. Sometimes those charts can give us clues about where the stock might be headed in the short term.
Right. So what are those charts telling us? Can they help us sort through this puzzle?
Let's take a look. So Invivyd opened at $1.06 on February 4th, which was, get this, a 196.3% jump from the previous day's close.
Wow, what a ride.
Right. But, we have to remember that this came after a period of decline where the stock actually hit a one-year low of just 35 cents.
Oh, wow. So like massive volatility.
Huge swings, yeah. Definitely a volatile stock. Now, right now, it's trading above both its 50-day moving average, which is at 50 cents, and its 200-day moving average, which is at 82 cents.
Okay, and so what does that tell us?
Well, generally speaking, when a stock is trading above both of those key moving averages, it's considered a sign of a potential bullish trend, like the stock is gaining momentum and could continue to move higher.
Okay, so that upward trend you're describing, that sounds encouraging. But are there any red flags we should be aware of? Could this be kind of a false signal, a temporary blip?
Right. We always got to be cautious, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, yeah, there are some things to be mindful of. Even though being above those moving averages is typically seen as bullish, the sheer speed of this recent surge, it does raise some concerns. Like it might be overbought in the short term, like a rubber band stretched too tight.
Yeah, it could snap back.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like we need to keep a close eye on things. To give our listeners a sense of the trading activity, what's the average daily volume for Invivyd?
It's averaging about 958,500 shares per day, so that indicates moderate liquidity.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, right? We've looked at the potential upside for Invivyd, those really enticing growth projections. We've also talked about some potential risks. What does all of this mean for our listeners who might be thinking about investing?
Yeah, so this is one of those classic high-risk, high-reward situations. Invivyd definitely has a lot of potential, strong revenue growth, they're cutting costs, they're aiming for profitability. But those red flags that we talked about, those lowered price targets, that high short interest, and the super volatile stock price, you can't ignore those.
So it's like we need to dig a little deeper here to figure out if those warning signs are something to really worry about or just part of the, normal ups and downs for a company like this.
Absolutely. We've got to go beyond the headlines, look at the fundamentals, think about how all of this fits into your own individual investment goals and your risk tolerance. And it's like, we've got this treasure map, right? And there's a big X marking the spot where a fortune could be buried. But there are also some pretty ominous warning signs along the path.
I love that analogy. Okay, so for our listeners who are really intrigued by Invivyd, but also, maybe a little bit wary after hearing about those warning signs, what are some of the key things they should be watching for?
Well, first and foremost, keep a close eye on their future earnings reports. Can Invivyd keep up this impressive revenue growth? Will they actually hit those ambitious profitability targets? Those are the things that investors are going to be really scrutinizing.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's not just about potential. It's about delivering tangible results.
Exactly. And it's important to remember what we have now, those are just preliminary Q4 numbers. The full report with all the details, that's going to give us a much clearer picture. So that's something to definitely watch for.
What about those analyst updates? Should listeners be swayed by all those strong buy ratings? Or should they be more concerned about those lowered price targets we talked about earlier?
Analyst ratings can definitely offer valuable insights, but it's important to remember that they're just one piece of the puzzle. You have to look beyond just that headline rating and really dig into the why. Like, what are the underlying assumptions that are driving those ratings? What risks are the analysts highlighting? That's where the real gold is in those details.
So don't just blindly follow the crowd. Do your own research, your own due diligence, and understand the reasoning behind those recommendations.
Precisely. And I think, as we're seeing with Invivyd, analysts can and often do disagree. Some are more bullish, others are more cautious. And that diversity of opinion, it can actually be a really good thing.
How so?
Well, it forces you to consider different perspectives and weigh the evidence yourself. You're not just taking one person's word for it.
It's like having a panel of experts, right? All debating the best road to that treasure, each presenting their case and pointing out potential pitfalls along the way.
That's a great amount.
And then you, as the investor, get to decide who to believe.
Exactly.
But it doesn't stop there, right? We also have to consider the bigger picture.
Oh, absolutely. Invivyd's not operating in a vacuum. The performance of the broader biotech sector, the overall market, those things are inevitably going to impact its trajectory.
Right, like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. But a market downturn can drag down even the most promising companies.
So let's say someone's listening to this and they're really interested in Invivyd. They believe in its potential, but they're also a bit risk averse. What would be a sensible approach for them?
Well, I think first and foremost, I just want to reiterate that any investment in a company like Invivyd, it should be made after carefully considering your own personal risk tolerance, your financial goals. It's crucial to have a well-diversified portfolio.
Right, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Now, for someone who is interested in Invivyd but maybe a little bit wary of that volatility, a good strategy could be to start with a small position.
Okay.
Dip your toes in the water, see how things develop. If the company continues to hit those milestones and your confidence grows, you can gradually increase your position over time.
So like a measured approach. carefully monitoring those key indicators that we've been talking about.
Precisely. And remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get caught up in those day-to-day fluctuations. Focus on the fundamentals. The company's performance, its long-term prospects, how it aligns with your overall investment strategy.
It's about seeing beyond the hype, tuning out the noise and making informed decisions based on solid research.
Well said. But, even with the most thorough research and analysis, there's always an element of uncertainty. No one has a crystal ball.
That's true. There's inherent risk in any investment, right?
Right.
And with a company like Invivyd, which is still relatively early in its journey, that risk is even more amplified. There's no guarantee that they're going to achieve everything they've set out to do.
Think back to that treasure map analogy. Even if Invivyd is sailing in the right direction, they could encounter unforeseen storms, hidden reefs, even pirates trying to steal their bounty.
Okay, so I think we've laid out the map pretty clearly here. We've seen the potential rewards, that enticing X on the map, but we've also identified some real risks, those warning signs along the path. Ultimately, it comes down to this. Is Invivyd a treasure worth seeking, or are the risks just too great?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And unfortunately, there's no easy answer. It all comes back to your individual circumstances, your appetite for risks, and your belief in Invivyd's ability to overcome those challenges and realize its potential.
So our listeners are the captains of their own investment ships, and we've given them the charts, the compass, hopefully some food for thought to help them navigate.
Absolutely. They have all the tools they need to make an informed decision. Now, before we wrap up, I want to hear from our listeners. We've shared our analysis, but we're also eager to learn from you.
We want to know what you think. Do you believe in Invivyd's potential, or are the warning signs too concerning for you?
Yeah, head over to our website or our social media pages and share your thoughts. We love hearing from our community and getting your perspectives on these fascinating companies.
Investing is a collaborative journey, and we learn so much from our listeners.
Absolutely. Don't be shy. Share your wisdom.
And if you enjoyed this episode of Investing Talk Podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, share with your fellow investors, and leave us a comment. It really helps us grow and reach more people who are eager to learn about the exciting world of investing.
Thanks for joining us on this journey as we explore Invivyd.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to investing.
Stay informed, stay curious, and as always, happy investing.